You know, you hear the stories, you know. And so I would go to the rec yard, and the young brothers say, "Man, Pop, man, tell me some of the story, man." You know, because I was a live wire, right? And I'm like, "Man, look, Bruce, let me tell you something, bro. I'm trying to get blessed by God, man."
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.
You're getting ready to come home 4 years later. What are you coming home to after doing 20, you know what I'm saying, after doing 24 years straight, or 23 years later? What are you coming home to?
I want to say, before I came home, I got some inspiration.
Okay.
Right? I'm gonna just name one. I had a young brother came through the unit, you know, by the name of Brewster.
Okay.
By the time he got to the unit, I was transitioning to something new, right? But you hear the stories, you know. You hear the stories, you know. And so I would go to the rec yard, and the young brothers say, "Man, Pop, man, tell me some of the story, man." You know, because I was a live wire, right? And I'm like, "Man, look, Bruce, let me tell you something, bro. I'm trying to get blessed by God, man. I can't tell them old stories, man. Man, just tell me, you know, man, listen, bro. I'm trying to get blessed by God, man. It's something new, man. I ain't tell. So I would never go back down stories, you know. And he'd be out there working, I getting swole. Man, oh, man, I be hurting him. Man, look at him, I'm writing a book. You writing a book? Man, you tripping.
Shout out to Boss Man.
Man, you writing a book. Shout out to Brewster, man, the boss man. Yeah, I'm writing, like, yeah. And he was telling me he was writing a book, man, get it together. I'm like, man, look, you know, but by this time I'm a full-fledged Christian.
Yeah.
I'm probably Jesus drunk. One of the best things ever happened to me in my life. You know how I used to laugh at people, Jesus drunk? Man, nigga, Jesus drunk. Boy, look here. When it's on you, you got to know what you're going to stand on.
Yeah.
Because when I was in them streets, I knew what I stood on. I knew the law, right? And so when he get out, he write me a letter. Man, write, I need you to write something, you know? But remember, when he left, I'm telling him, like, bro, I'm really doing this. And I write him a letter, and I tell him, like, look, I can write you a story in such a way where I ain't hitting you over the head with no Bible. I ain't gonna be Christian is, Christ is, you know what I mean? I can write you a story, you know? And so when I sent him that letter, he ended up putting parts of what I wrote in his book, From the Rec Yard to the Streets, you know? And the part that I wrote for that book was, what's the difference between donkeys and thoroughbreds? Donkeys, when they get threatened and have problems, they put their asses together and start kicking each other in the butt. When thoroughbreds, on the other hand, have problems, they put their heads together and kick out at the threat. Now, what you want to be? You want to be a donkey-ass nigga, or you want to be a thoroughbred nigga?
That's right.
And that's still to this today.
Wow.
Where I'm at, we thoroughbreds. We're going to put our heads together. When something go wrong, we're not going to be putting our asses together and start kicking each other in the ass. That's what donkey-ass niggas do. And so that was my inspiration, just to even see him put some of my writings in a book. Because remember, you finna write no book, man. You tripping. What you finna do? Oh, no, you ain't have it, man. You know. So that was inspiration that people could change, and that you could go in that way and be successful. And so that was probably one of my biggest inspirations as far as going in the right direction, you know. But what I had to come home to, my dad, throughout these years, my dad was re-raising me. Even in my mess, he was re-raising me. Wouldn't do nothing wrong. When I was getting that money, and I sent him that money, say one time he got a check, and he said, "Hey, man, what are you doing? The pastor sent me a check." You know, like, what are you, But the white boy that was, buying the dope, his parents died, and the pastor was over his money. So all he had to do was say, right, the pastor, "Hey, man, I just sent $500,000 over here." And the pastor would do, because it's his money.
Yeah.
But my papa was like, "Man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Man, I'm in the craft shop."
You're just trying to show love to your papa.
No, that was my money. He didn't need my money.
He be putting it up for you?
Yeah, man, listen. I want you to be honest with me. If I gave you $100,000 right now, I'm going to say outside of your wife, because I know she's right here. I don't know who you know, but outside of who you maybe they want, who can you trust with it?
With $100,000?
Cash.
Nobody but me.
You see? So when you get money and you send it to the world, right, you got to have somebody you can trust. or they gonna keep using, and they can't give it back.
That's right.
So my pops didn't need no money. He was good. So I just sent him, he put it up. But he got to the point like, nah, I gotta come see you, son, because I ain't square. I squared up, but I ain't square. And he said, hey man, I ain't doing this here no more.
He's trying to figure out what the hell going on with this
So I had to
money.
get another route.
He didn't have to figure it out. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, I ain't going back to no penitentiary for you, man. I don't know what you doing. So I had to figure out another route. You know what I mean? So my pops was good. So my pops had worked for a company maybe like at 20 years, 25 years. He's like, son, if you come to Houston, my grandmother asked me to go to Houston before she died. Man, go to Houston, man. Your dad ain't nothing in San Antonio. Like, you don't have nothing. Man, go to your dad, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. Because my grandmother asked, I was like, okay, I'll do it.
So you paroled out to Houston?
I paroled to Houston.
Wow.
Dad had everything set up for me, a job, the house, and I had to pay no bills, nothing like that. So, I was good. Good landing board.
And he had your money.
Yeah.
So, and when you come home, what was it? Things had changed. Everything had changed. You come home. How was it just being home, being free after all those years?
So when my first day of being free, first of all, when I made parole, I didn't believe it. God had gave me a vision of me being free. After 20-something years, I had never had a vision of being free. And he was like, don't tell nobody. I said, all right. I went to parole. They ended up telling me I made parole. My wife ended up telling me I was like, man, who told you that? You're like, hey,
Your wife?
Yeah, at the time, yeah. I was like, man, I ain't made no parole, man. Trip. Who told you that? Like, don't worry about it. So I didn't believe it. Because in my mind, man, they got an FBI file. They look at when you go to parole. They got cold cases. I ain't anywhere in the world. They ain't not finna let me out. I just didn't believe it.
Wait a minute, you got to back up, Papa.
That wife thing. That's what that wife thing.
Well, come on, how you get a wife up in the penitentiary? I ain't had a girlfriend.
Okay, so
that's right. Years. I was thinking that, but
after I changed my life, right? I gave up my girlfriends, and this next girl, I was like, I got married. So from like.
So she popped up in the vision too, Papa?
No, she didn't pop up in the vision.
Okay, well, come on, give it to me, bro. Let me see it. Cheating on the game, right?
Yeah. You got to be respectful for the new wife,
Yeah.
But
was she a guard in the prison?
No, she wasn't a guard. She's a girl I used to have when I was young.
Okay.
She was.
So you had a girlfriend when you was young.
Yeah.
So you
she was older, and she was like really basically she was the number one girl if you ask me in the hood.
Okay.
Right. In our whole circle, she was like number one girls, right?
That's hard.
And so
she seen you in your motivation in the street.
When she came back around, I was like, man, she a good girl. I remember her, you know what I mean? But so I married her.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gonna talk.